December of 2017 when I felt the overwhelming urge to escape societal norms again. I was feeling restless. It just wasn't enough. I felt trapped, controlled by just about everyone and everything. My job told me what to do, how to do it, when to do it. My child's school told me what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And so I felt pretty lost. I was just not believing that this was it. Just pretty much in this rut of working, coming home to work some more with my child's homework and projects, to just feel exhausted. Go to sleep. The next day, send them to school, go to work, and that was just the thing. It was pretty much a hamster wheel, and it was very sad. Like, is this it? Like, that's it? And then once a year we get a 1 or 2 week vacation, or am I supposed to become an investor so I can get out of it? It was just insane. I just felt inside of me like there had to be something more to this life. It was insane. At the time, I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I had nothing else going on besides being a mother. I pretty much had lost the sense of self, which a lot of moms do. I think once we become mothers, we kind of lose the person we were before. I don't want to rant. I started doing research at that time. It wasn't the first time. I had moved from New York City to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and kind of went through the same thing, just living in the city. Like, what is happening over here? I was just not happy after. That's pretty much my hometown, and I was just like, what am I doing here? I need to get out, like, now. So it was around December 2017 when I started thinking about going to Mexico. It's pretty much the closest country to home where, if you need to get back to the US quickly, you can do it in an affordable way. After making the decision that I was definitely gonna visit Mexico, I started doing research. I started doing things to make that happen. One of the things I did was I needed to take care of 3 things: children, pets, and vehicles. So I am a mom of 2 sons. At the time, my oldest was a pharmacy tech for Walgreens, had been there for a few years, and he had his own vehicle. The little one is 8 years younger, and at that time he was, I think, in his last year of middle school, but he was being homeschooled, so I was homeschooling him already. So I sat them down and had a conversation with them and asked them if they thought it was a good idea for us to go to Mexico. After I had done the research as to how long we can stay out there and what we needed, we went to work. They actually agreed. They were very excited about the trip, and we're just ecstatic. So the one thing we addressed with the oldest one is what we're going to do in regards to his job, because he had been at Walgreens for a little over 3 years, or maybe just approaching the 3rd year mark, somewhere around there. And what he did is he actually asked for an FMLA, some sort of leave of absence, not medically related. It's like a personal leave of absence where they will kind of hold your employment for a certain amount of time. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Walgreens did it for like 6 months at a time instead of the year. If it was to be FMLA, like medically related, it'll be a year off the bat. But if it's personal, I think they do 6 months. That's what he did. And so he got that going. And then for the little one, he was being homeschooled through K-12. So we were doing homeschooling, but it was through a program following a specific curriculum. And so what I did at the time is that I notify the state that I was going to homeschool him independently. You can even do it online. You fill out a form saying, hey, and you put in the date, starting this date, I'm gonna be homeschooling him or her. And so we left K-12. It was kind of intense for him at the time anyways. It was perfect timing to actually go away from K-12 curriculum and just do it independently, where we can actually control the amount of work that he was getting and what he was learning and everything like that. So that's what we did with the little one. I started doing research in regards to pets. And at the time, there was a requirement where your pets had to have a certain list of vaccines, rabies, and like dewormers and things like that. But there were a couple of other vaccines that they recommended in addition to a health certificate, which at the time was like $48 per certificate. I ended up paying a pretty penny to bring the cat and the dog over. It was very expensive. They had physicals due at the time, and then the vaccines on top of that, and then the health certificate. And all that had to be done no more than 10 days in advance prior to flight. Health certificate, which by the way had to be done by a USDA certified veterinarian, no more than 10 days prior to flight. The third thing I had to research was the vehicle. vehicles. And so I found that temporary import permits for the vehicles, for each vehicle, and each one of them was a deposit. I think, and it's by year, like anything up until 2006, it was like 350 or something. Don't quote me on that. I did the research. I actually have an ebook where I have all that information. You can find the link below for both Mexico and Costa Rica. And then the other one, we had a 2003 Legacy, Subaru Legacy, and we had a 2007 Subaru Outback. And so that one was a little bit more expensive. It was like 450 for one and 350 for the other one, a refundable deposit for the permit. You apply for it, they give you a sticker, and they put it on your windshield when you're crossing the border. Once I had those three things, the rest was easy. It was just basically getting rid of everything, selling as much as we could, giving away as much as we could, donating as much as we could, put a lot of things on offer up. The rest was history. It's me, the two boys, both vehicles, the dog and the cat, and we went from Albuquerque, New Mexico directly to Guadalajara, Mexico. I don't think I felt fear. I think I was too excited for the changes. I think I was so looking forward to our new life. There was no time for fear. There was no space for fear. It was just go, let's go. So in December 2017, I started kind of meddling around that, and by February, we were on the road on our way to Guadalajara, Mexico. It was a long trip. It was fun. I do enjoy driving, long distances, even though I tend to fall asleep, but safely. So we had to stop a lot because of me, because I kept just falling asleep. That straight drive puts me to sleep more often than I want to. I felt like I was still in Albuquerque. I think the same terrain is when you cross the border, you almost don't even feel it. It's the same desert that is going through Albuquerque, that is in Arizona, some parts of Texas. It's the same one. Once you cross the border and you're actually in Mexico, it's like you're still in New Mexico. It's like you're still in Texas until you actually start getting deep into the country and you start to see, the homes and businesses and things of that nature. We really enjoy the trip. If there's some advice that I can give anyone out there who is not only a single parent but a family as well, thinking about moving abroad and kind of want to start closer to home in a place like Mexico, which is the closest thing to home, unless you want to do the Caribbean, and that's, you can't drive there. So fear cannot have a place in your heart. I think there's a dose of fear that is healthy, fear of missing your plane, fear of, running somebody over if you're driving too fast. But the constant fear in your heart that someone is out to get you, whether you are driving across country and you think that you're gonna be the target of some sort of random crime. Listen, I'm not saying that there aren't parts of the country that are dangerous. I've never been there. I'm just saying it because other people are saying it and we kind of know it, but I honestly have never been exposed to any kind of craziness in Mexico. Now in Brooklyn, on the other hand, honestly, if there are so many of us that have done this before, we've done it by ourselves, we've done it solo, we've done it as single parents, we've driven into the country, we've flown. You have to trust yourself. At some point, you can say to yourself, I can do this. I can do this. You're going to be fine. You can do this. You really can. I'll tell you a little bit about the cartel. There are probably people just like you and me who were fed up with the system and decided to just do their own thing. I'm just saying, I don't see the cartel as this crazy group of people, because I know my people. So more power to you. I think the cartel is made up of people just like you and me who were fed up with the system they were part of and just decided to do their own thing. Do you have crazy people? Absolutely. You don't even have to be part of our cartel to be insane. You know that. I could be anywhere, right? You can even hold office. So what I'm trying to say is this crazy fear of the unknown, of things that have never happened to you, of what's gonna happen or what if, this doomsday scenario fear. Stop it. These are all made up by your brain. And the danger with that is that because we are masters of manifestation, if you want something to happen really quickly, give thought and energy and time to a specific situation, and I promise you, it's a matter of time before you go through it. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying you can do this. No one's gonna do anything to you. Just stay safe. I was told don't drive at night, right? That was since you're driving, don't drive at night. I drove at night. I was out there up until about 3 o'clock in the morning where I couldn't take it anymore. We had to stay and go to sleep. And we did it at a rest stop and everything was fine. No one knocked on our window. There were other cars there. I was not the only one traveling. You're gonna find that. You're not gonna be the only car on the road on the way to Mexico. There's gonna be so much traffic that you're gonna be like, what? Yeah, like there's a lot of people heading over there. I don't see you being the only one on the road to Mexico. You're gonna see the same people kind of stop doing the same pit stop. So that's one thing we saw over and over, like people stopping at the same places to get snacks and go to the bathroom, clean up and whatnot. We fell in love. That's what happened. We fell in love with Mexico, and Guadalajara is my first love. I loved that city. I mean, the people, the infrastructure, the views, the food, entertainment, and I can go on and just, at some point I guess I'm gonna make a video about like the details of it. I can't say anything bad. So we're doing it again.